So this is going to be the first goal that I scored against Holcombe in our 3-3 draw against them on Saturday. We're going to have a bit of a closer look first, just purely at technique and trap from Bono, and then we'll look a bit of a wider scale as to how we did. So we can see here, trap actually came a little bit deeper than expected. We see Bono adjust slightly, but get a really good trap on this ball, so it's completely dead, almost completely dead, little bit of roll back towards me, but that's not too much of a problem. We see good gap between me and the ball, nice step over to be able to get that big lunge, good distance from the first runner, nice quick release. We're going here for a almost running injection style, picking the ball up in the hook and aiming for the bottom right corner. So as you can see here, Lorcan has got his stick down, as this is to be ideally touched by one of the two runners here, either Lorcan or Alfie Ball, to go into the bottom right corner. I am, however, still aiming into the bottom right. We can see the second runner has actually come to block his deflection, but as is the nature with most of my flicks, that injection is quite unlikely. Oh, that deflection is quite unlikely. So we'll go through, we'll zoom out here, just to watch this as a hold D situation. You can see here that we are setting up with two runners on the right, backup from option from Kyle there, Cheapy on the left, and another player on the left there as well, just as a further wider option to crowd the keeper for any deflection that comes back into the D. So we can see nice quick injection from Hopkin. So the ball is actually making its way to the top of the D before they even get to the P spot. Worth noting, runner is almost in the keeper's eye line here, which does aid me slightly, but then he does break away to actually give the keeper a decent look at where I'm flicking. Second runner here, as we saw before, is coming to block Lorcan's run. Alfie Ball does remain free throughout the entire thing, but doesn't get close enough for goal to offer that deflection. Right postman here, looking to block any ball that comes back to Nick at the post. But we do see here the classic problem with a 3-2 run is that there is all the space over here for a left slip option, which we did try in the game but didn't quite come off down at the far end in the first half. So we see again, flick away, nice distance from first runner, who tries to get the stick in the way quite closely but doesn't quite get there. We see left postman here also sets, thinking the ball might be coming that way, although realistically that should be the keeper's problem to deal with down the left hand side. They should only really be worried about Nick down here. Ball, nice pace, then actually is going to travel past the hip of the left postman. It's going to be quite difficult to see here with the slider in the way. In the game I thought actually this went between his legs, but he just managed to get his legs and hips out of the way to allow the ball into the goal. This was just above backboard height, so realistically actually any option from our right side runners was going to be unlikely. But as I say, with the aim of most of my flicks, I'm always aiming inside the goal, and it really would have to be off pace for them to be able to get there in time to get any touch in. I think perhaps if Lorcan had run a tighter line and come in onto the P spot, there was an option for a possible deflection if the ball was on the floor, which we will see in the second goal. But he is running on this line into the goal here, which deals with the second runner, so that just doesn't really become an option at all for him. It's quite clear that we're going for a right deflection because Nick here has completely backed out of any sort of deflection and is prepping for anything off the keeper. Same with Hugo and Cheapy. They know that ball's going into the bottom right, so they are not too concerned about where that's going. So yeah, we will watch that through at full pace, just to show you first goal.